Okay, for Gabby. All right. Trying to get this set up. All right, there we go. We're going to the Dark Mansion. It's one of my all-time favorite decks. What's coming up in love and career for Gabby? That's what we're asking. I'm going to spread these in the Australian 10 format. It's the same as the Celtic Cross, but it's just spread a little differently. Same placement, same energy there. I want some clarifiers immediately. There's something that's coming through, and there's a window opening up that's really, really good and pleasant for you. It's like everything that you want to see happening coming through. This one's got doubled down on this. We've got two cards coming through. We've got the High Priestess and the Strength card coming through as the challenge cards. Your now position is the Sun, where everything is blessed and glorious. But what's going on with the High Priestess? The mysteries that need to unfold. You need to ask yourself deeper questions about what you want in love. And what strength do you bring to it? Not just how you want it to look and what makes a relationship strong or makes love good, but what do you want to bring to it? So your MO, the way you operate in the relationship, is being considered very much here. Very much. Right from the jump. Now we've got Judgment and the Queen of Pentacles here in the subconscious and conscious spots. Judgment is the one for me that always says, to thine own self be true. Judgment is the one that talks about reclaiming your own wholeness. Really, really understanding that strongly. It's a card of resurrection, restoration, but it's a card of very big completion stuff going on. And then here, the Queen of Pentacles, knowing your value, knowing your worth. This is a lot of self-care. This is the one that knows her value, understands how to use the tangibles and the resources for herself, for her own good. This is huge coming up. I'm going to go back down here. What we're seeing here below, we have you and the energy you're sitting in now and the environment around you. What we have going on is the Two of Pentacles, this juggling, and sometimes this comes from a place of lack. The lesson in almost opposition here. Subconsciously, it's trying to get through. Understanding how to give to self first. When that happens, more balance comes in. Here's this like logic, and this is coming in, and it is giving me the get out of your head energy. This one is usually very strategic, takes the time, makes the plan. Get out of your head as far as analyzing. This is pertaining to love. When you're talking career, you want to think things through. I get that, but the environment around you is almost like an over planning. And this one doesn't usually come through with that energy, but that's how it's coming in. Now, in the recent past, the Two of Swords, the indecision is getting the better of you. You're at a stalemate on certain things. This is where I wanted the clarifier immediately. Boom. Let's see what's going on. This is a recent past. There's some of that is residue and lingering. Ace of Wands. It's like a reluctant to do a new start, and you really do need to have this new start. This is new career. What I'm getting is you need to be diving into your career. Mo's popping up. Mo's saying wands. She's giving me wands and she giving me fire. She's like, light the match, strike the match. She's showing me a match. Now, Mo always shows up. She's one of my guides, and I have the 4 that come in. Mo comes in, and she usually does things on like a little post-it note. What she's drawn and shown is the match, and then the flame. Strike the match, strike the match. This is talking about diving into career energy first and foremost, and that's where the priority needs to be first, and then love kicks in secondary to that. Now, I don't know what that's about, but that's what's coming through. All right. Now, what we have in the Nine of Cups going forward in the near future, this is wishes fulfilled. This is satisfaction. This is contentment on a huge, huge level. They used to call this card point blank the wish card. It's usually you see the guy and he's sitting kind of with his arms crossed and he's like got all the cups lined up behind him like on this big banquet table. Yeah, it's the wish card. It is really, really contentment emotionally and ready to offer. This bodes well for love coming up in the future. What we've got coming here, hopes and fears, the Magician. You cannot manipulate this. You can't force it too hard. You need to do what inspires you as going forward. And I want to look a little deeper in the Magician because we're talking love and career both here. Ah! This is why I do my cards this way, guys. Look. Duplicate. This is like the universe sending you neon sign like, hello. Hello, strength. This is a card of balance. Now, you got this here in the you in the position of now. Balance where it is you want to put your resources, your energy, and your time. You want to devote it to yourself and to your work right now. Love is coming, and that's very, very apparent in the reading. It feels that way just from the energy that the lovers aren't here, but the energy of the sun with that direct question being asked. It is coming. It is coming. This is the Six of Cups. There's nostalgia. This is sometimes friendships or people from the past coming in, or ways we've been in the past. And this is not having the rose-colored glasses. This is where you look at things and understand, and you bring equal offering, much like the Two of Cups energy would be. Now, what else do we got coming in on that? Okay, all right, these three want to come out. Wow, duplicate on this. Now, this one sometimes comes in as the timestamp for 3 months for me, and that's what I'm feeling. It's like you need to dive into your work right now, really, really good. There's something shifting in the way you do love and the way you operate in love that happens when you spend more dedicated time to yourself and to your career. Put yourself as number one priority. To thine own self be true. That draws love in for you in a huge, huge way. This feels like a 3-month card. So we're going into September, October, November, December. So before year's end, it looks like things change really radically for you as far as love goes. Now, what else did we get on this? Okay, all right, yeah. Okay. We've got a couple of things. This one is a little bit of the argy-bargy. This is the Five of Wands. This is where people are fighting over stupid shit. This is when gossip and the snipe and gripe team and competing energies and feeling comparison game comes in big. You aren't in competition with someone else. You're never in competition with someone else. We get these kind of screwball messages in our society about being always in competition, and we compare ourselves to others, and we see what the glossy magazines have, and that everything looks a certain way. But no, to thine own self be true. You hold to your own self. Be as authentic as you know how to be, as real as you know how to be, warts and all, everything. Bring it all out there, lay it all on the table, because it's big for you. That is how you get around this lesson. And when you do, what happens for you? The 10 of Cups, happiness. This is like the happy ever after +1 coming through. It lines you up, puts you in perfect position. You're approaching it differently than before. I want to get a third deck. We're going to get same deck, third deck. So yeah, you're going to see what's coming up with this. What's coming up specifically with love. With career, you need to take the new start. If you're thinking about doing something new, if you think that there's a promotion, that Ace of Wands is a huge hit on that. Boom, 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 boom. So just 1 second. Focus on work, absolutely. Absolutely. That's the primary area where you focus on work and being true to yourself at the same time. Going into what is passionately calling you is what I would say. What brings you fulfillment? What makes you feel like the trade-off for your time, for money, is really doing what it needs to do in your life? It's not like we can all just say, okay, this is what I love to do, and this is a passion I'm going to follow, and all of a sudden money just flows in, flows in, flows in. But we need to find what it is about the work that we're trading, the energy we're trading, the time that we're trading, that makes it worth it for us, and value the gift that comes from that. And then take the resources that you are taking from that and shower yourself a little bit more with self-care. It's huge for you. When you spoil yourself a little bit more in this regard, it really serves. There's deep High Priestess lessons coming in for you. Wow, 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 wow. Okay, hang on. All right, let me flip this down so you can see. We got the High Priestess here. Now, she came in as the double shot, remember? The double spot on this one. Let's see what's going on with this. The High Priestess lesson that you're learning. Okay, these two flipped first. The anxiety, the stress, and the overthinking doesn't serve. And walking away from what is unfulfilling is what you're learning. There's a huge amount of discernment coming in. The Knight of Swords is always what the page wants to be. The Knight is the one that charges in a little bit recklessly. The truth that you carry needs to be honored. The truth that you carry needs to be spoken and vocalized, but held high and not in a way that is reckless. There's something about the way you honor your own truth in a way that is good for you, that helps you move forward, but not at a frantic pace. And that's something that might piss you off, but it is what needs to happen. When you go too frantically, too recklessly, that's when you get into situations or relationships or places and spaces with people that don't serve, is what I'm getting on that. You've been taking a different approach and trying to stay true to yourself. Keep at it, Gabby. That's exactly what you should be doing. Exactly. And there's more and more discernment. So if you're stuck on a question and this one comes up, she's going to tell you to ask a smarter, a different, or a deeper question. And it's not because your question is wrong, but because your question is adjacent to the lesson that you're trying to learn. Page of Swords comes up. Look at this. Knight and Page together. This is the one that has sometimes the harsh words, the snipe and grape. Gossip comes in with this one. Sometimes like the Mean Girls, I showed you the Five of Wands that came through. But in order to charge forward, you need to hold your truth. Big time. With a double on the King of Swords. This is huge. Walk away from what doesn't serve. Don't settle. Don't settle. Don't settle. Don't compromise your integrity to keep hanging out with people that make you small or hem you in. What else is going on? Yeah. This is exactly what. Now, what else? I want to snoop just a little bit because the love energy doesn't feel like it's present until later in this year. But I want to snoop just a little bit on that. Yeah, okay. I was asking myself, is this King of Swords representing somebody that might have that energy of the King of Swords? Sometimes the Aquarius, the air element energy that comes through, and it feels like the Aquarius energy. Now, it might be one of the other air signs coming through, but it feels like that's what's coming through, and the logic and the way of thinking and the moving towards new things. The Three of Wands, it's waiting for something that you've already sent the message, but it's coming in and you can see it, waiting for the ships to come in. This is the one I call the Santa Fe burger. You order the burger at the restaurant. You don't go chase the waitress. Not once on vacation did I order food and chase the waitress. And every time I ordered, guess what? They brought me what I ordered. We forget that when we work with the universe and we overthink and we think, how is it going to happen? If you've put it out there and you keep the energy out there as far as manifesting, as you know you're going to have it, you know it's yours, you know it's on its way. That's the energy you want to hold to. Anything else? And that's the 3 again coming in. It feels like the love answer, even though you don't like that it's coming in 3 months, like that feels like a long way out. That's what it feels like. Okay, you are getting the strong caution here. You don't like that. I said that you don't like that it's 3 months out, but guess what? Don't fall for the bullshit of somebody that comes in schmoozy, too quick, too hard, too fast, love bombing and all that shit. That's not going to serve you. The devil's here and you've changed yourself to what it might look like, and it's going to look a little bit different than what you think. Here's Sneaky Pete the Thief, one of my favorite renditions ever. Know what your priority is. Make your job, make yourself the priority. When you take the time for self, just like we've been talking about, it's going to serve you so well. And then the 4 of Cups, you're getting a little pouty, moody, broody, and you're not seeing what's coming in because you get too lost on the navel gazing. This is a card of refusal. It's going to look different. I'm telling you. Look, I've got one more of these decks, and I'm going to snoop. 4th deck on this, just because I want to. I want to get nosy. I told you guys I tend to get nosy. We're getting nosy on this. What's going to go on? Wow, wow, wow. We have here, Page of Wands coming in. New excitement starting. This one's coming in like the Knight of Wands. Fiery stuff is coming in. The Fool comes in for the new start. We've got the Strength and the 5 of Pentacles. What I'm asking you to do, and this is a hard one, this is a card of ruin and poverty and lack and blah, blah, blah. And when we see this only as this, we don't see the separation's gift. I'm asking you to trust the gift of this time buffer that you need. Because here's the Strength card coming through. This is the 3rd time we've seen this. This is the one that was hidden before. The hidden strength and the hidden way you balance is huge for you. It's huge in understanding what it is you really, truly want. Because the way you view what love should look like and what it should be for you right now is more narrow than what you actually want deeper in your heart. The deeper you look for that, when you want something real, not just relationship for the sake of relationship, the relationship because, you know, going it alone is sometimes awkward and weird and clunky feeling. When you want it because you want the deeper friendship. Here it is over here with the 6 of Cups. You wanted the deeper friendship. This is what's going to bring out something different for you. And this feels like 3 months. Anything else? No, just know what it is that you're ordering from the universe. Get that discernment. Get really clear in the next month or so about what the experience of being in love, in relationship with another really yields for you. And start giving back to yourself in a way that honors that a little bit more. So say it makes you feel a little bit less lonely. So handle some of the shadow work on the loneliness versus being alone. That kind of thing is what's coming through strong. Understand that when you dedicate strength and energy and your mental and emotional resources to your own self-growth, you draw forward something more powerful than what you thought of before. All right, that's clear. That's complete. Holy cow. Okay. That was great. That's what's coming through. And mostly I think it's going to test your patience. So with the devil coming up when you get impatient for that, or when the lesson of solitude versus loneliness gets a little bit strong, or solitude versus isolation gets a little overwhelming, just remember that you're okay on your own. You're doing fine on your own. And don't settle. Don't settle. Don't settle. Okay. That's what I've got. I'm going to put these decks back. So, okay. All right. So, yes, it's open, Janelle. The list is open. I'm going to get some water, and the list is open. I'll hold my little sign so people can see if they want to pay for a reading. This is what we got going. Okay. What does the blind read consist of? It used to be the blind 7, and I go in the oracle decks. Now, let me show you guys here. Here is my oracle cards, and then behind me, here in this card is oracle cards. I probably have like 80 or 100 oracle decks, and usually It's primarily that. Once in a while, if a tarot deck calls to go in there, it will. And it used to be only 7 cards, but now it's just whatever comes through is whatever comes through. So it's a blind read. You don't ask a question. I just go in and what comes through is the message for you, and that's what comes through. Gabby says, I'm an independent queen and will stay that way until the love comes. Thank you again so much. You are welcome, Gabby. You are so, so welcome. So is it like a general reading? Yes and no. Because sometimes the messages are really, really distinct. Like sometimes you'll get messages from past life. Sometimes the guides are in there. Vivian's going to do a blind. You can kind of get an idea on that. But we'll go for Vivian for a blind. Wow. Okay. Oh boy. Okay. Vivian's blind is kind of different. This is what we've got for the decks going on. We've got the Enchanted Map. We've got a Rebecca Campbell. We've got the Lemurian. All of that's tra-la-la, light, frou-frou, really good energy. And then what comes whopping out too, when the blind, I just follow where the nudge leads. The Dark Mirror, which is very more dealing with shadowies. So, and I usually read them in order of how I pull them, but because this one came up so strongly and it is different than the others, we're going to see what's going on. Janelle, here's the payment info right here. And Kim, if you can tag that and post that, that'd be great. If you want to screenshot it, that's great. Okay, I'm going into this read. Vivian, what is this shadow lesson from the Dark Mirror? And then what are we going to do with the light energy around you? Because you really are trying... okay. All right. What I'm getting is the spiritual bypass can't happen. There needs to be a way of looking at the darker side that's a little bit challenging, but it needs to be done. Okay. All right. Oh. Okay. What we're getting here, big, is atonement. Now, if you look at this and you think in terms of 10 of Swords, it's the time to move on after painful betrayal, or painful misunderstanding, and you're starting to understand something new. Betrayal doesn't come from strangers. It comes from either ourselves or those we know that are close to us, and we have a misunderstanding about what we thought, what the knowledge was that we thought. There's something about what you thought that kept you held, kept you pinned down, kept you stuck. And it's like you had to pay for something with your pound of flesh over and over and over. And you're surrounded by somebody or an energy that says, I won't cry for you. This is somebody not giving a damn if you keep paying with your pound of flesh over and over and over and over and over. They aren't going to care. They are not going to change. Whatever this is that's coming through, they're not going to change. The atonement is when you come to a oneness with yourself and you move forward and through. Now, how are we going to see you doing this? This is what we want. Your brother passing. Wow. Somebody's asking you to move on. To go through forgiveness is nice if we think, oh, I can forgive that person, blah, blah, blah. But sometimes we have to go deeper into the shadow and figure out why the hell we were angry at them. What was our expectation? What we were expecting to happen differently or to play out differently. And sometimes not just was it a fair expectation or a realistic expectation, but just because we had that expectation doesn't mean that's what we'll get. There's also something to do with this that is... the expectations rather than learning flow, and there's a desire for you to be in more of a flow state that's coming through. There's a need. Lucy's here. Now, Vivian's been in here long enough to know who Lucy is. Lucy's very, very graceful kind of guide. It is the energy of wanting you to come forward, pulling forward, who you are right now would be very, very, very understanding and gentle to who you were as a child. And it seems like that is overlooked who you were as a child. You went through some difficult times and struggling through things, and if you reach your own hand out for yourself to carry yourself forward, this is a huge time for you. This is when you start getting through and beyond what felt like betrayal. This is when you start getting back to this energy of flow by taking your own inner child, cheesy as that sounds, taking your own hand, moving forward and doing the validating of self, the loving of self that is important for you to move forward. Okay, in these cards, we're getting the coming apart, the magic prayer, and the commitment. The coming apart, having everything shattered, the world blown to bits, so to speak. Something torn from you. Something taken that shouldn't have been taken or feels like unfair again. The magic prayer, and then the commitment. This is coming through as if to invite Spirit to guide. Yes, take the hand, take the hand. As if to invite Spirit to guide, Spirit to help you move through this. Whether this is somebody on the other side or friends that are around that you haven't necessarily told that you're struggling or that you need some help, that kind of thing comes through. Feels like if you ask the other side to show up for you, it won't disappoint. Whether it's passed on relatives or whether it's your guides. And it feels like asking your guides to help you come through, to help you go more towards what it is that brings fulfillment in you. There are sacred contracts and completions and things that are not always easy to understand. They do feel like they'll rip us apart. There's soul lessons that are big. How do you want to dedicate your life to move forward? This is huge, huge, huge. Huge for you. Okay, we're going to Rebecca Campbell's deck. You're laying out the bricks a bridge at a time. You're laying out the bridge a brick at a time. Lucy is showing me grabbing the hand of the young child, then kneeling at, she's often at this precipice lately, kneeling at this precipice, and you put the one brick and the other brick, and then you step, and then you put another brick and another brick. It is doing what you need to do a step at a time, a little bit of a time. Don't be demanding on yourself right now. Be devoted. Spend the time in devotion to self, loving self, and moving forward. Trying to be strong and move on. Vivian, it's okay to not be strong sometimes. It's okay to have the big snotty cry. It's okay to let everything feel like it's falling apart for a bit. This is where you can't bypass. And being strong sometimes, it doesn't mean that we can't be vulnerable. It doesn't mean we can't ask for help. It doesn't mean that we can't move forward in a way but be vulnerable and soft at the same time. And sometimes we get taught, oh, you're the strong one. You're the strong one. That's always, being strong sucks. That's why I don't really love the strength card. Strength card is about balancing and having that gentle strength come through. And sometimes that's tested in a way that brings you to your knees. And it feels like that understanding that you don't have to be strong all the time is part of the lesson right now. And devoting self to self is coming through. What else is coming through from the other side? Brick by brick. Brick by brick. Yeah. I'm getting piece by piece. I think that's Kelly Clarkson's song. There's something about that. This is where you're headed towards. You've got Pleiades coming in, double missions, channeling, and uplifting humanity. You're not here for just one purpose. Any one of us are not here for just one purpose. And this is saying this mission, this thing that was completed and finished now needs to move forward. And how you go forward with your guides, with whatever it is that you want to be devoted to in your life and commit yourself to, even if it's just finding your own joy and healing yourself. That's part of purpose, part of mission that we need to do because it ripples out in such a huge way. This is when you're getting yourself asked to allow spirit and the divine and joy, again, to move through you. We've got dance with life, do something to change your energy. Knowing what it is that you're going through and knowing how you can move it. How do you move on from this? How do you come back to oneness after this? This is what the dance of life is. It's not just happy, happy all the time, but the deep joy comes usually after a sorrow, after an understanding, sometimes after the painful lesson that helps forge us differently, strengthen who we are. And yes, the brick by brick, Lucy is showing me the bridge. You're further along in that than you realize, but it's like there's a little bit of a paralysis going on. It's like you've stopped halfway through. If you had this section of land here and this section of land here, and you're building brick by brick the bridge to fill in that gap. You're bridging between soil and spirit. This is something that's come through a lot in Shasta, a lot recently. The bridge is between soil and spirit, between earth and spirit. And it's like you're halfway through here and you need to continue and move a little bit forward. What's challenging in this for you is that you thought somebody would be helping you build this bridge a little bit more along the way. And you're learning you're having to do it a little bit of time on your own, and it's challenging. Ask spirit to help. Ask the divine to lift and support, and it will. Lemuria is coming in, creating heaven on earth, and it's happening. This is when you get this healing going on for yourself. This is how you create more of this harmonic energy to be in. This is where you return to self in a huge, huge way, in a much lighter way. Now, I want to go back to these dark mirror cards one more time because it feels like there is something else in here for you. Calling the storm. Oh, my sweet girl. All right. This is when you don't know how powerful you are. We aren't just put here in the middle of the storm. Our energy that we draw towards us and what we want to focus on and draw towards us is the way we call the storm. And sometimes we cry really loudly and we're angry at the divine, whether it's God or whatever you want to call source. You're like, what in the heck is going on? This is ridiculous. I'm feeling punished. It's very much when you're like, bring it on. Go ahead, bring it on. Smite me, mighty smiter. I'm done. And it's like, okay. Sometimes this is what we're throwing out there because we're so frustrated because we don't understand that we need to build it a brick at a time. We don't understand that the next steps are for our own good. We can't see around the corner. And calling the storm is a way of allowing our energy to conjure what is big and release and move through. It feels like this is huge for you. There needs to be some, I'm just saying what comes through, rage on the page, what you're angry about, what feels hurt, what feels like frustration. It needs to be on the page and let go. Don't put it on the page and then reread it and reread it and reread it. Let it out because it gets it out of your head onto the page and let it go. Even if you burn it and let it go. Call the storm and then decide what it is. It's like that cliche that's been around where people say something about the storm and she says, I am the storm. This is what you need to learn. You are the power. You are the one that calls forward the energy, the forces of the universe. Magic prayer that's coming through. This is what you're calling forward. What do you want to create? You're more powerful than you realize. You've been put in a position where you felt like you weren't powerful, but you are huge powerful. And it's time to step into that a little bit more. All right, what else is coming up? Now, these are the Beyond Lemuria cards from Izzy somebody. I can't remember right now. But she did them, and she was at Shasta and did a lot of the work on the art from Mount Shasta. And that's where I went, and it was absolutely gorgeous. And at a time, there's these like labyrinths there that you can walk, and they're just circular. And there's these two great circles that were there. And the one that I went to, and it was like you stand there, and there's a very sacred centeredness that comes through there. And it feels like when you get very centered in what it is that you need and who you are and sitting in your own presence really strongly, that it serves in such a huge way. And it's something that is not easily done. Spoken of a lot, not easily done. And that's the truth of it. All right. We've got the card of harmonic flight here. This is something of understanding the lesson that was taught, the commitment to the lesson, the commitment to the contract, the thing that was fulfilled, and how you move forward beyond that. The expressing your truth. Beyond the rage on the page, beyond all of that, there's something that is lifting and elevating and bringing you forward in a huge way. It is when you allow your voice to be heard rather than minimized. And this is huge for you. And then here, now this says transformation, but I'm getting, and take this for what it is, a prayer and a pleading. Now, in the traditional sense, it might be people think prayer in church prayer and prayer in pleading, but that's also a desire that is sent to source, that we know what we want. We know that this is something that is calling us, that we're asking for and requesting. And what is coming through is set some of the pain down. It's okay to set some of the pain down. It's okay to move forward and set another brick for self, set another brick for what it is that you need in order to move forward. There is something going on here. There's something that's coming up that feels like generational breakthrough, healing the wounds of generations past, and the transformation of the individual soul that is growing beyond where the structure had them confined before. Yes, yes. Going beyond where the structure had them confined before. And I just saw like 5 bricks, boom, 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 laid out quickly. This is how you move through this. By following what it is that brings you individual joy on the deep, deep level in your heart. This is huge. This is how you learn to dance with life again. And it happens a little bit at a time. You can't bypass. When you try and bypass, it will slow you down. You can't. So it feels like allowing this transformation to happen. Understanding that the contract was fulfilled and there are more things yet to be done by you that you are deeply committed and devoted to. You're not off track. You're not falling behind. You're doing fine. Anything else? We're going into Rebecca Campbell's deck one more time. Protection. Whatever is the pain that you're going to be done with, this is talking about cutting the cords, soul retrieval, calling back your power. This is the spirit guides, the ancestors, the angels, all wanting you to remember how to call the storm, how to call your power in, and call for the change that is required in the soul, on the soul level first, and see it outwardly manifest. That's complete. You're welcome, honey. You are welcome, Vivian. So, so welcome. All right. I'm going to put these ones down. That is a blind reading. That's how I do the blind readings, and I don't know always what's coming through, and whatever comes through, I get out of the way and let the message come through. That's how they go. All right. A full read, deeper into her roadblocks. Lily, deeper into her roadblocks. Okay. Full read. 1 second. Let me get some water. We're going into the practical tarot here for Lily, deeper into the roadblocks. Let's see what's going on there. Wow, I'm getting a flying V formation coming in, but it's coming in one wing at a time. Very interesting. The big winged birds are coming in now. All through this trip, we saw areas that just had huge, huge, huge birds flying, flying, flying. And the wingspan was huge, massive, massive. The big flight and the strategic spotting, like eagles hunting or hawks hunting. That's what I was seeing a lot on vacation. It was very, very strategic. But the wings in flight were spread so wide. This is huge. All right. Let's see what we get here. I'm flipping this down so you can see. Hang on, I'm recording and flipping this down. If I can. All right. And I'll try and keep this so you can see. And I'm going to have to read side at a time, one side at a time. Really wild. The roadblocks are not nearly as monumental as you feel them to be. Rather, it's a pivot point, a turning point. Now, we were talking about blockages and detours before. The roadblocks not being as big as you feel them to be is what the Chariot is giving me here. This side, let's read first. What's the perfect relationship and what's the detachment? This is something that feels like a perfect partnering and somebody not invested in the same way. And it's not necessarily a bad thing, but they're just coming off as a little bit cool and a little bit aloof. Usually this is saying keep calm and carry on and do your own thing, move forward, move forward. If someone is coming through as distance, aloof, whatever it is, they're trying to be temperate in their emotions, but they're coming off as distance. It's asking that a conversation is had It's asking that a conversation between you and who you might consider as partner or significant friend come through. Now, often this is thought of as romantic partner, but it can also be kindred spirits. It can be those that are close to us, even besties, that kind of energy is also here. Business partners, besties, those that are the even equal match. There's a conversation that's different. There's something about this King of Cups that's coming through, and it's almost giving a little bit of the Four of Coins, where there's a refusal to see something and not wanting to look below the surface of an emotion. This is something that needs to be done. There's a great lesson in there, and it feels like the more you avoid it, the more you delay it, you can't get to the lesson, but it does feel like it's delayed. The truth of a situation is being avoided. This is what the blockage is. The truth of the situation is being avoided. The next card coming out, the new start that is necessary, and the acknowledgement of the painful truth that it's going to take. Now, people will read this and they go, third party, betrayal, blah, blah, blah. Yes, it is that, but it's also the betrayal of the heart, and sometimes it's our own knowledge, our own choice of what we want to believe or what we think a situation to be that we don't want to see, and so it causes heartache, and this is what needs to be acknowledged. This truth right here, sorry, that was in the upper deck, is bringing the delayed lesson. We need to acknowledge whatever this painful thing is that feels this way in order to move forward. It's huge. This is huge. When you take this energy and you decide, okay, I'm gonna see it differently. I'm gonna allow there to be pain and allow myself to look at the hard lesson. Then you get the new start, and I love this. I love this one, and it's on the other wing. You'll notice it in just a minute, but it's on the other wing. This is their Fool. This is taking the leap of faith and flight, that it's going to be okay to start again, to restart, to new start, all of that. King of Wands energy and the High Priestess. Wow. That's a walloping right there. If you were to see that bird in flight and there was a feather missing, you would see a jag in the line of the wing of the feathers. And it feels like this one, there is a little bit of wounding that needs to be paid attention to a little more strongly. Now, these were here, but this King of Wands, this is the leadership. This is the one that's closest to the Emperor. This is very, very fiery, very inspiring, exciting, but not good at the close-up relationships. It's why this most compassionate King of Cups feels so aloof. There's something about this, about the relationship, and you can lead and you can motivate and be inspiring, but there needs to be more discernment and deeper questions asked. The obstacle is in the discernment, because you've got to let go of something that is an old belief, outdated belief that no longer serves. It's believing a certain thing about a certain other person's way of being, needing to change, that it will not. It's not going to. It doesn't have to, for you to move forward, for you to understand your own inner lessons, for you to be able to see with your own intuition, with your own higher self. You becoming your own King of Wands, following your own lead, is huge for you. Now, right in the center of these wings, and this is where it pivoted, right here. The Chariot came in. This is the balance. This is moving forward in a more balanced way. This one, I love that there's an equal balance here, but when somebody is leaning too heavily on somebody else as a resource, is needing too much validation from external, it really throws things off for another person. When we learn to do this for ourselves, when we learn to do the self-validation, when we learn to bring what is equal to the table and allow them to bring their gift in an equal way instead of having it lopsided, that's when we can move forward. And this is what's happening. You've got the Chariot here and the Sword of Truth over and over on this side that needed to be read first. Comes forth the Sword of Truth, the Sword of Truth, the Sword of Truth, in order to make the decisions, to have the discernment, to know which road to take. It's not that any of these roads are unnavigatable by you. You have the Chariot here. You could navigate any of the roads. It's like you could throw a dart to a map and navigate that road and learn the lessons that you would learn. It's more your own internal discernment that needs to come through, and your own intuition needs to be trusted and relied upon more. This is what needs to happen. Okay, going forward. Challenge going forward. Now, this one is where it starts to pivot. Let me see if I can get this side of the wing, because you can see we're headed towards this repeat of the Fool taking flight. It's like you're having to learn to ride the winds a little bit different. Yes, yes, riding the thermals, riding the laughing winds is coming in quite strongly. There's something about joy that needs to be created and molded and shaped for self again. It's like you are waiting and waiting till XYZ happens. When X, Y, and Z happen, then you can be happy. When X, Y, and Z happen, then I can do this. When X, Y, and Z happen, then I'm going to feel super excited. Life's going to be good. When X, Y, and Z happen, what are you waiting for? Like, there is no need for you to be waiting for anything any further on this. There's just not. It's time for you to be moving forward in a different kind of a way. It feels like waiting for somebody else is about, it's smothering you, stifling you, and it doesn't serve. Do what it is you need to do. Take the action steps. It doesn't matter how small. It doesn't matter how great. Take the action step that feels right for you in order to move forward. You're not going to move a wrong direction. You've got the Chariot. You've got the extreme, really good gift of being able to navigate ferociously in such a good way. Now here we have the King of Pentacles coming up. This is the one that stacks things over time, stacks resources over time, builds, grows, is the one that says, show me your plan and I'll back your play. You need to back your own play right now. This is huge for you. Walk away from what doesn't serve. This is the Five of Pentacles. This is the one that usually see them standing outside the church and they're out in the cold and they need to separate and go their own way. Yeah, it's going on your own path for a little bit of time. Now here, the Page of Cups, the stinky fish tea, the fish that they didn't want. They went for emotional fulfillment of some sort. They got this lousy fish in their tea and they're like, no thanks. That's horrible. This is the one that is super, super artistic, super, super creative. Knows how to use the emotional stuff for a gift in order to move forward and get something substantial out of it. Getting the fish is something that's more substantial than the water, and you need both. This is the King of Pentacles. There's a double blessing in doing this. Don't know what it's about, but that's what it feels like really, really strongly. Okay, going forward. Oh my gosh, going forward. Okay. So we've got the Knight of Swords coming up again with the moon. And these are going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. Now in the position, I'm going to put this down here. So you can see it's like they're moving and moving and moving. They're jockeying for position, the two of them. And you can go any direction and be just fine. If you want to go, if I want to go to the coast of Oregon or the coast of Washington, there's multiple ways you can go. There's a few different routes you can go. Not any of them are going to be wrong if you know the end game, the end goal, the big goal. And this is where you get to be the King of Wands and the King of Coins together. These are the horses that you have to balance. These are the forces that need balanced. You need to have the inspired idea, the inspired leading idea. Sorry, this is the King of Wands. The leading idea. You need to take it on. And others will come in and support what's going forward, but you need to be the leader. And then the King of Pentacles. Marshal your resources. Honor what you feel like you need to be true to because it's huge for you. You won't be off course. You just need to start taking action. You can discern and get more clarity and discern and get more clarity as you go. The moon card comes in and you've heard my analogy. Even today you've heard me speak as far as the moon and you have the headlights and you can go as far as the headlights can see. You don't have to see from here to the Golden Gate Bridge in order to go to it. You don't have to see the ocean from Salt Lake to know that it's there and to go towards it. A mile at a time, a little at a time. This is what you're doing. This is what you're learning. The Star and the Fool come up at the end of this. This is you going towards your true north. This is you taking that leap of faith. You got doubles on this. It's going to be twice the leap of faith that you expect it to be. Twice as hard as you might expect it to be. To go towards your true north. It's like something that you had forgotten, set aside, or thought wouldn't pan out. A different approach will yield a different reward, a big reward. Something very, very good coming forward. The doubt that you've carried too long. And it's time for you to move forward on that. The doubt that you've carried much too long. It's time to move forward. Your dreams matter and what you want to do and what you want to achieve. Look for what is deeper in that dream. Some of us will say, okay, maybe they want financial independence or blah, blah, blah. Well, why would you want financial independence? What does that free up for you? Does it free up time? Does it free up your ability to spend time with certain people? Those kinds of things. Look for the underlying question about why is this dream something that you've held And why is it worth picking up again for you? What is it that is below that? That's going to help drive things forward. Again, the wings need to be spread in order for you to fully take flight. It feels like the one wing has been a little bit injured, and it does feel like that you have let somebody else lead a little too long. Anything else that she needs to know? Oh, wow, we got the Hierophant come through again. The lesson is there. It's like you have been given the keys and it's time. The spiritual growth is ready for you. You have the Hierophant twice. The High Priestess. This is the external, already established wisdom, and this is the internal and knowing from your own heart. They need to balance and come forward. The Nine of Cups, the wishes, and leaving behind what doesn't fulfill. The Eight of Cups. It is like once you make the decision to leave behind what's not satisfying anymore, you're headed directly towards your wish. Directly. You're giving yourself access by allowing yourself to let go and release something. Whatever is felt like obstacles and blockages, take them as lessons. Take them as assets, even though it's hard to do. Don't get stuck like, I got this roadblock. I got this lesson. If you were really trying to get to the ocean from Salt Lake area, you would just find a different road. If the road was closed because it got flooded out or washed out or whatever, you would just find a different road and keep going towards your goal. That's what you're being asked to do. That's complete. Yeah, this is powerful, powerful energy. When you get the Fool twice and the Hierophant twice, this is like you get the all access pass. The keys have been given to you already. Now you just go internally and then keep moving forward. This is what's going on. You're not going to take a wrong road. It's just not very possible for you to take a wrong road right now. So that's what I've got. It feels like the biggest obstacle in your way is the sometimes self-doubt that gets in our way for all of us, but that's what it feels like. If that feels like the biggest obstacle of all, and any of these other obstacles, you're going to navigate like the chariot is flying through. So yeah, you're going to ride the wind on this. That's what I've got. Okay, let me get some water and we'll see who's next. You are so, so welcome, honey. You are welcome. Okay, Janelle for a blind. Is that right, Kim? That's what I'm getting next. Okay. All right. Just trying to see. I think my old iPad is still trying to die. Eventually, I'll have to get a new iPad because Janelle's here. Okay, great. Okay. Janelle for blind. Okay, interesting. Okay, we've got quite a few on the blind for you, Janelle. Don't know why we've got so many. Don't even know the names to all of these oracles, so we're just going to go through it. What are we here? There is something about getting things in order, having things just so. This isn't usually how this wants to go, but this is how this wants to go. We're getting bookends, not bookmark, bookends. Somehow we're getting bookends. Mo's in the house again, and she's drawing the old L-shaped bookends like this, and you have all the, here's an L this way, right? And here's this L, and you have all the books stacked in between. They hold places, they hold space. It's like you're in the Hall of Records in the library. What are we going into here? Okay. Yana is pushing through, and that's what I'm calling that old gypsy woman that pushes through, and she's saying she knows what she's looking for. She knows what she's looking for. I'm still getting used to working with this guide. She's kind of pushy. I'm going to lay the cards, and if she's coming through, we're going to try and work together, she and I. All right. We're getting Bloom and the Trove as the bookends here. So bloom, know where you're at, bloom where you're planted, understand that time and season for a bloom, not everything blooms all the time. Like the flowers that bloom and then they go dormant through the winter and then they bloom again. We have seasons where we're wide open for growth. This is what the bloom card is about. And then the trove. She's getting on my case about this. The trove. You can't read all the books all at once. You need to be able to digest them a little bit at a time. And it feels, and I'm going to move these, it feels like the bookends, these are the books, like very much as if these were bookending here. And I'm going to flip this down so you can see. There's the one bookend, and then going along here. Okay, get into the books. Okay. We're going in the books. It's like you can choose whichever of these lessons that you want to take coming through. You have many, and many seasons of blooming that are coming through for you right here. The first thing that is being acknowledged is the way you encourage others, knowing that you're chosen and honoring your own bravery coming through. So this is what we've got here. Knowing the divinity that resides within you is something that has to happen first when you're blooming and you're opening up and sharing, and the readiness to share, and be brave enough to share. Honor the gift, but be brave enough to share. Honor the beauty that is how you are, exactly as you are. This is huge for you. This is a lesson that you come back to over and over again. It's not because you don't know it, but every once in a while you forget and need to remember. Every once in a while you need to refocus and re-see again the beauty. To really understand that it's not about perfect in the sense of the way we get taught everything has to be perfect or getting it all, everything exactly right. You're perfect as is. As you are is the perfection. Okay? She's coming through. She's saying, she is saying that you already know this lesson. You've got this pretty good. As you are is the perfection. Love that. Yeah, that's exactly what she's saying. But next book. Next book, she gets the next book, she gets the next book, she gets the next book, a lesson, many lessons is life. She gets so many lessons is life. She gets so many lessons. She get think, not too many books at once. You get in, you read a chapter, close a book. You don't read 5 books at once. No 5 books, no 5 books. 1 book, page, 1 book, page, put book down, next page. All right. I'm going to go into the cards. She has said what she's going to say. Yana has said what she's wanted to say. It is my turn. She needs to, so we're going to let her be. The other guides that I work with, they usually come in front of me. She comes through very pushy from the back. There, she is in my ear saying, shadow, 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 shadow. And this is the shadows of reflection and the threshold. Before I even read the word, she's saying shadow, shadow, shadow. The reflection is not all that is. Whether it's in the mirror, in the lake, whether it's distorted and fractal, whatever the reflection is not actually it. So how we see ourselves in the mirror is not actually it. Who we actually are, who we bring forward, that is more potent than the image we see in the mirror. The threshold, moving forward and beyond, moving through something new. There is, she's so bossy. There is a new chapter opening up. There is a new chapter. Yes. These books, yes. They work like, you know, when you have a book that's a trilogy or a series of a book, this is what it is. It's like this other chapter of understanding your own beauty. This is something you dip into a little bit, but you're refreshed on this. Now you're going through a new threshold. And this is requiring bravery to come through. Big time. And the new chapter and the bravery. Got it. Okay. All right. We're going through to the next one. The next coming through. Holy cow. Okay. I'm getting, take the poison off the shelf. This is something that is off the shelf, that is old, 1212 coming through. Sometimes that comes forward as completed cycles, really full cycles, and it also comes forward as 2 steps forward, 1 step back. 2 steps forward, 1 step back. 1212, 2121 inverted. This is what's coming forward. Take the poison off the shelf. Something that you need to get rid of and let go. Something old that's shelved. This feels like literally something that's in your shelves or in your house that is a reminder, that's a painful reminder of a situation or a time period that needs the books closed on it. If you had something that you've held as a keepsake for a little bit too long and you've been wanting to get rid of, there's enough negative energy attached to that from your own past experience that you could do a little bit of spring cleaning, so to say. Yeah. Okay. All right. What else we got here? Wow, that one really wanted to bounce off. Ancient tree. Find strength in your roots. They support and ground you. The sacred flame. Ignite your passion. Let your spirit burn bright. And then spiritual journey. Saying life's path is ever evolving. Embrace the twists and turns. And what I'm getting is really dated furniture that was in my grandmother's house. And on the Davenport, which was the couch, on the Davenport that was floral, very, very floral, old and pink and full of roses. And then I'm seeing also her table. And while they were great for creating traditions for her family and for me as a young child, it's not like I would furnish my house with all of her things. This is where you are doing your own thing. What has been established with the ancient tree, with the roots, with the history, the family history. All of this is great, but the sacred flame that you need to keep, that you need to burn, needs to be your own. This is the overly attached to the past area that you need to let go of. And this is where you're moving forward. You're actually going through your basement next weekend and throwing a lot away. Yeah, don't hold on to what doesn't serve you. Honor it for having the place and space in your life, but it's okay to let it go. And that's something that you need to know. It's okay to pass that on. It's okay to move forward and through it. You're not meant to live in the furniture that was your grandmother's furniture, even if it was her prized possession. You are meant to have your own prizes, okay? All right. And the spiritual journey is your path that you're going through now. Now, these all came through now. Interestingly, these ones came through, and I'm keeping them upright. This is upside down. This is upside down. Now, this one is a more anatomical and a body one. And the old bones, the good structure. The old bones, the good structure that's coming through. And Ayana is very much liking that old bones, good structure. There's crone wisdom coming through with her all the time. She's very, very crone energy. There's kids that get like the foot and mouth disease, and that's kind of a weird thing that's coming through, but we've got the ankle, the mouth, and the hand coming through. Now, that's a real thing that kids get. I say things a little bit bluntly and like put my foot in my mouth, that kind of thing too. And then the hand. There's something that I need to look at through here. Just give me a second with these cards. I'm going to try and get this so you can see what's going on with the cards. There's a flexibility and an overstepping and going too far and pushing too hard. This is talking about to tread softly, and there will be quick change. Tread softly and be careful of criticism is what I'm getting on this. Whether this is directed towards yourself or somebody else, you need to express things that are truthful, that are pleasing, and not critical. Don't verbalize too much criticism as you're going through what you're going through the next little bit of time. There's a great shedding. Oh, she like, oh, a great shedding. Yes, yes. Her bones are still there. A great shedding. Oh, very cute. She's showing me a snake growing out of her skin, and the snake is a girl snake. She wants me to be very aware. Yana wants me to know, very aware. The snake is a girl snake. She gets out of her skin, and guess what? She's even bigger because she's grown. So don't let yourself get bitten twice by this. Understand the wisdom of snakes. Understand the wisdom of growth and shedding an old skin. This is huge for you. The good bones are there. Okay. she's saying the structure that you've already got set, that the ancestors have passed down, is already there. It's in place. It's intact. You can get rid of whatever you want to get rid of, and nobody's going to be hurt. Grandma's not going to be upset if you don't like her sofa. Her Davenport was great for her. You can get your own couch. That's just fine. You've been drawn to snakes lately too. Yeah, they're wisdom. They're signs of growth. Just like, okay, behind me you see the butterflies? Snakes also. Great wisdom. Great transformation. One deck has a snake wrapped around the cosmic egg, and it warms the egg into new growth. This is what you can dive into this a little bit more. Dive into the wisdom of the snakes. You might also consider Lilith energy and do some research on that. Oh, she likes that. She likes that a lot. Yeah, she's just chuckling. Wow. She is a really funny one. Kim's saying just let her through. Okay, let her through. Okay. The old bones, the old bones. The old bones. Yeah, I can't. She says you need to know the snake is a good thing. Yes, you know the bite, you know the poison. You do not know the story. The snake is a good thing. It goes to the ground, side to side, natural. Side to side, natural. What is that about? The way you move. The path the snake makes to move. There is a balancing that the snake naturally does that comes back and forth, back and forth. Oh, yes, in the bookends. You want all the books at once. You can't have all the books at once. Take what it is. Look at it. Learn at it. Look at it some more. Set it down. Then go to another. Don't just stay in the one book to one book. Oh, everything have very, very light. No. Take what it is in the book. Look at the shadow. Look at that snake bite. The snake bite for a reason. You piss it off, it bite. What's coming through for me is the spiritual thing that we learned from the past, from the ancestors, and the poisons, and the wounds, and the things that need healed. The snake bites. The wisdom of the past is sometimes painful lessons. The snake bites, and if the poison circulates through and doesn't get dealt with, it just does worse and worse. However, if you let the poison be released and the things that you've held for too long be released, then that's when the healing comes to hand. This is saying give, receive, support, welcome, push away, firm grasp, holding on, and fortune. And this is saying push away. It's time for you to walk your own path. You push away. You push away. If a snake bites you, spit it out. Snake bites you, you spit it out, you move forward. The books, not all your lessons. There's a lot of this going to the book, and they're not all your lessons. Some of these lessons you've learned well enough you don't have to revisit. When you move through this, when you set this down, when you get rid of the poison, you allow yourself to move forward, and that's what's in the trove. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, the trove. Oh. It's the trove. It's the treasures that you have gleaned from what it is that has been stored, held, and kept, and the treasure that is gleaned from when you release that. Yeah, she's complete. That's complete. You're getting too hot and feeling her come through. Yeah, she's a really, she is a pushy old broad. That's what's come through. That's complete. Holy smokes, yeah. I'm still getting used to working with her. She is a very master teacher is what she's saying. It makes so much sense. Oh, I'm so glad. So glad. That's what came through. Holy camoli. You guys. I am learning as I go with this one. I am telling you. Holy smokes. Holy smokes. Okay. All right. Michelle. Hey. Okay. We'll be doing that. And I thought I saw Krista in here. Hey. So, hey, guys. And I don't know if Crystal came in today. But, hey, guys. So, Michelle, hi. Okay, for a blind. All right, let me get some water. Wow, okay. Michelle, we got, one of my new decks was called the Kids Tarot. And then there's a tarot just for kids. This is called the Kids Tarot, and it's coming up, and It's it's wanting to be used. So more like the Oracle sense. Okay, great. Okay, so we've got the Kids Tarot, the Practical Magic Oracle, the Shaman's Dream Oracle, and I think the Rooted Woman. So that's what we're getting. Yeah, the others aren't as pushy. Yeah, that's for sure. Okay, so these are going to be totally out of order or whatever. We're going to let them through. Whatever. Michelle, you're blind. This is going to read more like a blind than a tarot, just so you know. Who is the friend that asks you to play with fire, that asks you to risk? Who is the friend that asks you to do something a little bit different? There's huge, huge, huge energy off of this coming in this way. I've got to move these so I can get the decks out of the way and have the cards working for me. Sorry. What we're getting. Who is the friend that always sees, like the friend that's your Pippi Longstocking friend, the friend that takes risks, the friend that says, hey, let's go do something. Let's take a risk. Let's light a campfire. Let's go camping. This is what's coming through. This friend is asking you, the friend that would challenge you to take risks is asking you to come forward. This is what's coming forward. You've been sitting pretty and isolated a little over long, and it's time for you to take a risk and do something new. It doesn't matter if you're taking an art class or learning how to make donuts. I don't really care. But what it's asking is for you to take a risk in a different way, and this is asking you to take something that is a social leap of faith. And I don't know what that's about, but that's what's coming in. Okay. The solar strength is coming in. Wow, wow, wow. Okay, yeah, we're definitely on the right track with this. Okay, let me show you what we got here. Next one's coming in are be kind, be charming, yes, but this is also be your own hero coming in. Here we have the knight in shining armor, and this is you going forward for you. Solar strength coming in, huge, huge, huge. And then the woodland queen saying time for play. Solar magic is about individuation, taking your I amness next level. If you want to be the world's craziest donut maker, go for it. If you want to be the world's worst painter, go for it. If you want to be somebody that does off-road knitting and occasionally drops 3 or 9 or 15 stitches, go for it. It is time for play, and there's something about socializing with others in a playful setting that is super big for you, super big, super big. This is how you straighten your crown. This is how you do something for self in a way that helps you. It's the remedy. It's the prescription. It feels like the prescription. That's what I'm getting. Okay, now what else is coming through for you? Ayana is laughing at this. She's not as pushy as she was in the last read, but time to get fat is what she just said. Time to get fat. It means you've been too stringent with yourself, too strict with yourself. Maybe it's time to indulge. Time to get fat. Well, yeah, that's what's coming through. Okay, let's see what's coming through with the Shaman's Dream. Okay, all right. We've got the Crown Games coming through, and we were talking about this just a minute ago. The Crown Games. This is saying right use of power. This is right use of self, individuating self. The new guide I call Yana. And she's very, very crone energy, but she says time to get fat. And this crown, it's like you're not waiting for somebody to bring the crown and put it on you. It's straighten your own damn crown and strut a little bit. You know, you've heard me say tits out, chin up, time to go. Time to do this energy a little bit more. The horned cactus is talking about resourcefulness. Now, this is one where something that has been guarded for too long is asking you to let go. The armor, some of this armor needs to come off. Some of this armor needs to allow you to be more vulnerable. You're safe. This is something you need to know. And this one that says take a risk, that's your friend that says take a risk, is really asking you to be a little bit more vulnerable and more risking of self and soul and growth. This is what's coming forward. Bold step forward, and this says the farther gate. So if the classes that I mentioned, donut making and painting, are too easy and they're not a big enough stretch of your comfort zone, it's definitely asking you to stretch your comfort zone, because it's asking you for you to take the bigger journey. It's not so much the road less traveled, but the bigger journey, the long way home. The long way home. That's part of what Phil and I were doing on vacation, was the long way home. And it was so restorative to just drive and see all the green trees and all the green trees and all the green trees, and stop where we wanted to stop and be off a plan, not have every little stop orchestrated as we went. The netcaster. Preparations come to fruition. I want more on that. What's going on with that? Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. I'm getting 42. She even knows. This is like, she knows 42 to me is a huge, huge number. It's like the answer of life in like the, what is it? Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy or something like that. 42 was the answer to life. And this is something that I was talking to my children about in a funny way long, long ago. But the netcaster, this is what you're doing when you're trying the new things and stretching the comfort zone. You're allowing yourself to cast a bigger net and draw more experiences in for you that are good and joyful experience. This is huge for you. It's not just one wand here. Yeah, she really likes the imagery of fire. Gogs likes her. Gogs comes in and says, chop wood, chop wood, chop wood. But he likes that she says, light fire, light fire, light fire. Okay, what does the rooted woman have to say for us? Now, I just wiped all those cards away. Clear the slate, clear the slate. This is something, wipe it all away. You're doing all of these experiences new. The women's wisdom, transformation, and the grail bearer, spiritual nourishment. This is why the creative risks and the creative energy and the trying new things is something about you pursuing the grail for yourself. The women's wisdom in creation being the big, huge thing. The way we create, the way we nurture ourselves is huge, and it ripples out to others in a huge way. Transformation coming through. Huge, huge, huge. What else do we got here? The answer to life is honoring creation. Cave incubation, you've been there too long. You've been there too long. Somebody else got the bear coming through, and the advice was poke the bear, wake it up. You've been in there incubating too long. You're done. The time is done. The call is already here. It's on you. You already know your inner yearning, your desire. This is what's going on. Pay attention to written information, yes, but pay more attention to what is asking you to come forward, the true north, the glow that's coming through. It is as if has captured a piece of sky here and a piece of night sky and the moon here. I'm going to show you these cards. Here's the night sky and the moon right here. See? And then here, this piece of sky here. When you've captured a piece of sky for yourself, when you are getting the call and you decide to answer it, this is how you're going to move forward in a huge way. It will feel like taking a little bit more of a risk than you think. For some people, public speaking would be a huge, huge thing. I got nervous before I came on the show today. But whatever it is, that is the risk. That for you is the risk. Some people, that's not a big thing at all. But whatever it is, this is something you should be more than dipping your toe in. It's time to be brave. Like, get the big girl panties on and let's go. All right. What else do we have here? The bog. This is where the cave and incubation, you've been stagnant too long. Okay. The bog is when Phil and I were driving, and I tell you, if you know who Lady Olenna is from Game of Thrones, she said you can smell the ship from 5 miles away. There would be certain areas we would go through, and I'd be like, oh, skunk, horrible, horrible. Phil's like, what are you talking about? Or the bog. There's certain areas where the stagnant water just leads to stink, and it's not serving you. The call is right here. It's time to move beyond the bog, beyond the cave. It's time to move forward. Let's see what else is going on. Okay. Yana is really giving me like crash course of her energy. I think she would like to be more forward with my guides that I'm familiar with, and I think that's why she's pushing. The bog, the stink you walk through. Shit you walk through, it come with you. The dog shit on the shoe. Everybody knows the dog shit on the shoe. Slow down, wipe it off, move on, get a new shoe. Whatever this is that you have walked through, that has transpired, that has been like dog shit on the shoe, you need to let it go, wash it off, get rid of, be done with, move forward. The call is here for you to move forward. And you have been in the bog too long. You've been in hibernation too long. You've not pursued. You've been in your comfort zone too long. The wasteland, the Moor, and Imram. This is the one. So the wasteland is easy. The Moor, you get it. You need to go through some of this. But right here, this is what it is. You on the journey with spirit at your back, going forward, taking risks. With the sky, there's something about this that's coming on. There's something about understanding the sky, and you need to be out and under it a little bit more and a little bit more. Night sky. Night sky serves you really, really well. It's almost as if you can be under there, go on a walk during the day, that's great. But if you sit on your front porch at night and really understand the perspective of where you are, that's huge for you. To understand how you sit in and among the stars and the vastness of it all. You're only here for a brief moment, so get out of the bog. Anything else? Yes, yes. And this is going to read like Oracle, not like Tarot, which is really weird, but that's what's coming through. This is new love, new huge. This is new emotional growth that comes in. It's also coming in with like hummingbird energy. So you can hover, you can move back, you can move as stealthily and as swiftly as you want. You control the pacing of your movements. You control the pacing of the processing of the emotions, but it has to happen. And the getting out of the comfort zone has to happen. And then get your sip of nectar, get your sip of sweetness, get your sip of what brings you joy. A little sip at a time is enough. Whether it's, you know, the donut making class, the painting class, whatever it is, get your sips of joy, a little bit more, a little bit more. And that adds to your ability and the agility to navigate well, to fly well, to be able to fly in any direction. This is huge. The hummingbird and the peregrine falcon are coming through as bird messengers for you. Huge, huge, huge. I think the peregrine might have been associated with hermit in the secret language of bird stick. I'm not sure. But that's what's coming through today. This is what's coming through. The ability to maneuver the sky how you want to. When you get out under it, it broadens your sense of perspective, and you know how to get out of your comfort zone. You know where to be brave and to go forward bravely. This is huge for you. That's complete. Wow. Yeah. That's complete. You haven't been under the stars in forever. It's high time, my dear. It's high time. And it will serve you really, really well to do so. And I don't know why it's so strongly that way, but that's what's coming through. So, all right. Okay. We will go to the next one. Brenda for a mini. Okay. All right. And can you post Brenda's question? You are so welcome, honey. You are so, so welcome. No problem. Brenda for a mini. All right. Put these here. This here. All right. Let me get a little bit of water, and we'll do Brenda's mini next. Whatever comes through. You got it, honey. We are going to the Light Seers Tarot. So give me just a minute here. Okay, we're going to the Light Seers for Brenda. Now this is one of my favorites, and I was drawn to a little bit of steampunk, but I think the Light Seers is more right. So that's what we're going to go through. Brenda for a mini. Yeah, we're going to lay this out like the traditional Celtic cross, and then we're going to go through with clarifiers, okay? Okay. Something very full and completed. A new time of power, of asserting power, and a new time and new audience coming in here. Something that you need to set down in order to move forward. The Ten of Wands coming through strongly with that. Now, I know I have a miniature of that one, and that's the one I want to go along to clarify with. Okay, what we've got is you in the position of now that you have completed something with the world, but you're being challenged to go forward and do something. The recognition is here. The victory is here. It's already happened. It's been completed. Subconsciously, you know this. Now you need to move forward beyond just parade mode, beyond just wave, wave, beyond wave, wave, pretty princess mode. Yes, you're great at this. Yes, you're great at that. You can handle that. Okay, good for you. Now we're getting, okay, beyond the parade wave, you need to move on, move on, move on, and really claim the bigger victory, because there's something bigger. There's something below the surface level that needs acknowledged and brought forward, brought up, brought from the depths is what I'm getting. Now, we have the world here, and it's very much the world and fertility coming through, but there's something waiting to be birthed. This is coming through with Empress and the world energy both combined. And you can see it right here. The world is coming through. This is stronger than the Empress energy of something needing to be birthed. It's the world opening up for you. It's something new being birthed, brought forward. Your world expansion, expanding. And not just you expanding, but allowing others in. This is new players, new people in. So yeah, so you've done this, like you've got the victory. Here's the world here, the completion here, the Empress energy here, and the victory here. It's like you've stepped through. And this one, this is right before the Fool begins another journey again. This is allowing some of those people that would have seen this great, great victory to be part of the journey with you. That's very interesting to me. This is new friendships coming in for you this year, and I'm not sure what this is about, but that's what it is. So we've got Nell over here laughing, and you guys have seen me enough that you know when Nell is here. She's just laughing and kicking and splashing, and she's waiting for others to come. And there is in the distance. So this is telling me that it's in time. This is something that's coming in time. Before the end of the year, this is a new friendship that begins. It's really, really good for you. Helps you stay balanced, helps you stay emotionally focused, helps you balance out the play aspect in life, and helps you move forward from not resting on your laurels, so to speak. Now, King of Cups is coming in the past energy. And this is where the emotional fulfillment and satisfaction, all of that is there. Keep calm and carry on. But you're about to take a leap, because the Fool is just as strongly here as the World card is. Really. Oh my gosh. Look. That just happened. Right there. You guys just saw how that happened. The King of Cups is keep calm and carry on. And the waves and the leap that's going to be happening, it's going to be different. It's going to be moving forward. This is a very compassionate, very balanced person. This could actually even be somebody that's bringing forward more of this Libra energy forward. And walking away from the old things that are no longer fulfilling. Just because you've mastered and you've been victorious at something doesn't mean it's going to stay fulfilling forever. I'm getting what's coming through is the many instruments. You know those people that are so musically gifted, they can play pretty much any instrument. They just pick it up and start playing. They have a natural gift for that. If they get sick of playing piano, they're going to play guitar. If they get sick of playing guitar, they're going to play flute, whatever this is. But walking away from what doesn't serve and moving on to something new. The creative expression of what you do is still there very, very strongly. Don't be afraid to try something new. All right. Queen of Wands is coming up in the conscious. This is where you are aware of your audience. She's aware of her audience. This one is usually on the parade route, but there's also a new audience that comes through. New friends coming through. People that want to connect in a different way. And this is somebody that insists on fairness, justice. She comes in, she's the life of the party. This feels like you come in and you're the life of the party. You're used to doing that. This also comes in as somebody coming in that is a balancing dynamic. She's all fiery, fiery, fiery. And this feels like the person that is coming towards you that reminds you of something else from past. Not in the way of Six of Cups nostalgia, but in a piece of yourself perhaps that you set down for a while and it's time to pick up again. That comes through. More Libra, more water energy. And it feels very, very balancing. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa. Eight of Swords. King of Coins. Star. Yeah, I'm getting release me. And this is what's coming in. The water energy is what creates the release. This one's seeing herself through a different way, seeing this binding, but the water energy is the release. The Eight of Cups, walking away from what is old and already mastered into learning something new. There's something about the loyal friend that comes in that reminds you of a true north dream. reminds you of how to be true to yourself. And there's a lot of healing energy that comes through these healing times. There's something coming in. Yeah. I'm getting timestamp of September, and we're getting 21st to the 25th. I don't know what this is about. There's something about this, whatever this is that you want to take on. The 21st through the 25th is going to be a clarifying time for you to take something new on. And I don't know what's going on there. I think the eclipse might be on the 21st. So something new. Oh, you're going to run to it. It's like you're released, and then, yeah, I'm getting Whitney Houston, I'm going to run to you really strong. This is you running towards something that you love, you desire, something new that's got you excited, fired up, and ready to run to. And it's going to help you feel like your sparkle is back again. This is huge for you. Okay. The near future, setting the burden down. This is when you've set the burden down. The 9 of Wands is like the wounded soldier. You've been standing guard long enough, long enough, long enough. This is setting the burden down and moving in a new direction. It's usually shown with the wands at the end of the driveway, and you get to set the burden down. It's not meant for you to carry everything. It's meant for you to move forward. It's, yeah. I'm getting too much clairaudience. Hang on. There's baggage that needs to be left behind. There is a release. There's a leaving on a jet plane. There's I want to run to you. There's all of this songs and lyrics. You need to really pay attention to your clairaudience big time, because you are setting the baggage down and moving forward, moving forward, moving forward, moving forward. It's huge for you. Okay, right here, the Hangman, the delay is over. The willing sacrifice, you've done the work. The new perspective is here. It's time to move forward. Do you dare? Do you dare? When pigs fly, do I dare? Do I dare? Do I dare? Am I thinking too high? No, you're questing for the grail for yourself again. You don't have to get the ideal just to move forward. You have to move forward, and then the ideal comes closer and closer and closer. Yes, this is the energy around. There's a little bit of nervousness when pigs fly, but it's like the universe has already yanked you up off of this and saying, you're on your quest now. You're on your quest. You already finished the homework on one assignment. The world is saying completed. The new birth coming through here. Now, the 9 of Pentacles, you can sit pretty in the garden and stay isolated forever, but you don't want to. The 8 of Wands is the energy. There's something happening. This is an 8 weeks card coming up. Big, big, big. It feels like the 21st through the 25th is the first segment. And I don't know if that's less than 4 weeks, but it still feels like it's the halfway point. And then there's a second segment that's coming up in the 8 weeks. That's huge. This is what you're going towards, going towards, going towards. Now, what else is coming up on that? Wow. Okay. I got to show you. Look. Look. We have the Queen of Wands that we've been talking so much about and clarifying over here. Right here. Right? Right here. Right? And then we have this Knight of Pentacles. Ready to go. The bags are packed, ready to go. Super, super prepared. Kind of the slower knight, but really moving forward, moving forward. This is the one that has 3 canteens to cross the desert. Super, super ready to go. Leaving this garden for a little bit and actually going questing for yourself is huge, huge, huge. Okay, we're going to the 3rd deck. What else is going on? We've got this. We got this. Okay, I want some lines of 5, please. Newsflash, lines of 5. What's going on? Your clairaudience is coming in so loud. I don't know what you're doing, what you're listening to, what songs are coming through, but it's like almost like the radio won't turn off. You need to fine tune it. The clairaudience is coming through huge on this. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Look, okay, the time for isolation, separation is done, done, done. You're going your own way, a new direction. You're not going to go towards the old stuff. Why? Because the Queen of Wands is in the house in a huge way. You are the one that's giving new audience to new people. Huge, 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 huge. You know when you're at a casino and you get 3 cherries? This is your 3 cherries. Bing, 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 bing. Like that. Yeah. Winner, winner, winner. When you're in the Queen of Wands energy. Not in the fake parade wave and you're good at what you do. But when you're in the real and the raw, you're magnetic. It's boom. 7 of Wands, you know your boundaries. You know what is your sacred bubble. You know what is your sacred space. And you know what isn't. And this is you getting braver and braver to quest for the grail for yourself. You're going to do it. You're going to do it. You're going to do it. And then the strength. You're following that quantum. The vibe. You're following the quantum field, the quantum vibe, the quantum energy. Listen for your clairaudience and be really tuned into the field. You're going to feel a shift of energy flow. The music and whatever it is you're hearing will hit you different than when you're regularly listening to it. You'll know it. You'll know it. This is waking up so much, it's crazy. Yeah, shell to the ear. Yeah. It's very like the ocean, and you're having the shell to the ear and you're listening and you can hear the ocean, that kind of thing. It's you listening within your soul a little more, a little more. If you don't listen to the radio very much, it is time to start. If you listen to music and it seems like the same thing, switch the station, because you are meant to be hearing things and the other side is trying to get your attention, tug on your ear, send you the I love yous, let you know what's going on. And this is huge, huge, huge. This is huge what's going on here. For you, it's understanding that you've moved from parade wave girl that's like pageant winner, Miss whatever county with whatever city, to being the actual queen and understanding what your territory is, what you want to do, and what do you want to expand. This is huge for you. Anything else you need to know? One more deck. What's the theme? The next 2-month theme is what I want to know for you coming up, the next 2-month theme. Friendship, lifting a glass to yourself, toasting yourself. Be among those who celebrate you. Go where you are celebrated, the true you, celebrated on the depth, where there is a glass, not just where you're tolerated or where you're used to, but where your soul really celebrates, and really where you can understand what's going on with your soul, and you meet friends that meet your soul. This is Soul Tribe, Soul Family coming in a huge way for you. This is where you are supposed to be, not just in the places you've been, but where new members of Soul Family are coming forward for you and really bringing you forward and towards this energy. This is coming through with a little bit of the magic of the stars and getting this going forward for you. It's time to celebrate and move forward in expansion. That's what I've got. Holy cow, that is gorgeous. That is absolutely gorgeous for you. All right, that's what I've got. That's complete. All right. Brandy, different Brandy than our regular Brandy as a blind. Okay, you got it. You got it, you got it. Hydrate, yes, I think I should. I think I should. Hey there, Jack, hey. All right, let me get some water. We'll see what's going on. Okay. A blind for Brandy. Okay. 3 cats is Brandy. Okay. You got it, honey. Oh. Exactly so. Okay. This is a Marchetti. I think this is Ina Segal or something like that. And I don't know what this is. This is Legacy of the Divine Oracle for a blind. This is a really beautiful, beautiful deck to work with. I'm getting 2 pillars coming up, so that's what we're going for. 2 pillars with this one. I'm getting something isn't adding up how it should add up. The numbers are important for you, and I'm not sure why that's about. I'm not a math person, but the math ain't math, and something isn't adding up, and it needs to add up in a way that's more harmonious for you. Don't know what that's about. Let me show you what I'm seeing and why I'm telling you this. Get these cards out of my way. There's too many of them right now, but all right. What we got here is this reflection and trying to look at something, to look at the numbers, look at accounts, taking something to account. And the math ain't mathin'. And here she is. She's sitting there, and you can see all these numbers that are falling off the face of the clock. The time, you're out of sync. Not out of time and time's up, but out of time. You need to have the math if you want to step into the timeline you're meant to be in. It feels like you're trying to jump a timeline, trying to jump a new version into a new version of self, and it feels like you are very much like the numbers that are coming off the face of the clock. There's gifts and things in abundance ready to be shared, ready to be received, and ready to be embraced. And this is something that's coming for you very, very strongly. And it's like the math needs to math. And when it does, you're going to get more than 1 + 1 is 2. You're going to get 1 + 1 is 45. You're going to get more when you add something in that is real. Then the math will math in a way that is different. Don't know what that's about for you. Other pillar coming in. All this evolution, the spiritual beliefs, the way you've held your belief system for so long, and all of this stagnancy isn't going to help you evolve or become your own self. Rather, you need to allow yourself to stand in your own truth, stand in your own power, and allow yourself to walk your own path and walk and trust what's going on, not just what you've been taught or what you've seen before. It's time for you to go within to walk it a little differently. Now, on this card, you can kind of see right here the evolution coming up, the different symbols of the world religions, and then the blindfold. It's asking you to go within. You already know this. It's rooted in you, anchored in you, and strongly connected. You already know this. This is a re-remembering of something that is asking you to go within in a big, big way. This is asking you to understand what's been tattooed on your soul or the blueprint of your heart, and the connectedness that you have to the divine is already there. This is what you're going through right now, the way the walk is going. Now you see here, she's kind of curled up, and this is also curled up. This is not a bad thing. To be in the fetal position is when we remember something before we're born again. This is what we're remembering before a rebirth, before transformation, death, rebirth, before the phoenix burns its nest down and becomes the phoenix. Before there is that release, there is a moment that is necessary to go within where you need to understand where it is that you're walking and understand the balance point and what makes you feel balanced and connected so you feel grounded no matter how high the wire is that you walk across. This is what's coming through. Now let's see what's coming in next. Now this is the Lantern Oracle. It's a very healing kind of oracle, and I want to see what's at the center. We might only need one of these. Let's just, whoa, okay. We need two. 2 and 2. We need 4. Okay. That's where it's going. All right. Let me see. These are meant to be read as pair. So let me flip this down so you can see. Here's the pillars. The tightrope walker is very much, this is very much the pillars here. This is one. This is other. These are the first 2. These are the second 2. The voice needs to come through. Again, wow, look at this. 2 different decks, 2 totally different decks, but look. It is like you are learning something huge. To play the harp, to allow your truth to be coming forward. It's like the voice of the angels, the voice of truth that needs to come through in a huge, huge way. The false beliefs that need to be let go. This is what is out of time, out of sequence. Whatever this is, look at that. The false belief has to be let go. The old stuff has to be let go. Then you're moving forward. This says, once the untruths that we believe about ourselves are illuminated, so are the ways that we can release the past limitations that confine us. The voice that's coming through. It is like the Spirit is trying to really get through. When we look at these, the Spirit and the angelic harp, and we look at the human and the angelic harp, and we look at the symphony in the hand, the music notes written on the page there. Hopefully you can see. What we've constructed may not be exactly what we need to be doing, and this is why it feels a little out of time and sequence right now. The voice that is coming through is huge. You're here to be known, it says, so speak and be seen. If there is a fear of being seen and you're forever correcting the notes and the stuff, it's the space between the notes where we get to know ourselves. It's getting in the gap, as Wayne Dyer would say. This is what's going on here. Now what's over here? The enoughness and the wishful expectations. Now this is something that is very interesting. This is not so much about the keywords on this card as it is being strung out, stretched out on the wheel of fate to the point that you almost feel like a breaking point has to happen. It's stretched too tight. If this is the high wire is stretched too tight, it snaps, she falls. If the balance is off and there's not a groundedness and not a connection to what her center is, her center of balance, her point of balance, then she falls. This is where you've bent it over backwards for something, for someone. And the energy of being enough needs to be there. The energy of knowing you are enough. And when that gets called into question, and it's a very human experience for so many of us, to have this called into question, to not know if we're enough, or to question ourselves because we have some kind of expectation either put on us as children or as young folks, or that we put on ourselves over and over because we are seeking perfection or want to do it perfectly or don't want to, Don't want to risk unless it's perfect, unless it's just right. Your voice needs to be heard anyway. The beauty of the truth comes through you, and that's what needs to come through you. The truth of who you are is enough, and always has ever been. Trust your intuition on this. Trust what is within. There's three places coming through. Give me a second. We've got divine animals. We've got the lion coming through and the divine masculine. This is a place of past. For lack of better terms, this is the temple the patriarchy built for you to be in and to stand in, and it's not accurate for you now. This is not accurate for you anymore. Divine animals, divine masculine. That's great, but the divine feminine needs to be welcome. You've walked in this way and understood this long enough. You understand the structure that others have set for you. The other place. Now, this is energy. It's not, usually doesn't come through as places, but it's coming through as places. Going within, and that's where all the color is. This is right in the center of it. Right in the center. This is insight, and this is color. And going within, going within, going within. No longer breaking your back to have the wheel of fate, the wheel of fortune, and wishful expectations of others be your guide. Rather, standing in your own truth, walking your own path in a way that is balanced, a way that is grounded and rooted and deeply centered, allowing your own self to move in a way that is more fluid, more feminine, more sensual, more divine. Allowing your whole soul to be coming through, expressed, encouraged, honored, received, offered in a way that is different than you have done before, allowing the voice to come through. Soulcraft is what's going on with you. Sensitivity is going on with you. This is the rose that is blooming regardless of whether anybody thinks it's time for it to or not. It's already underway, happening. Often I'll get Bette Midler's The Rose come through in readings, and it talks about after the winter, the rose comes up, right? I mean, it's a classic song. Everybody knows this. It feels like that time is in the spring becomes the rose. That's what happens. The rose is here now. It's in full bloom, and it's time to do soulcraft. This is what's coming through for you. One more from the lantern. This is the place of the heart. It's a palace of gold. It's the vein of gold. It's understanding when your voice has the vein of gold running through it. It's the time of sweetness for you. It's a time of honey for you. It's the time to let it be offered and heard. Renewal, regeneration. Yeah, you've outgrown something, and this is it. This is the renewal. This is you. If I can get this card picked up. Questing, but it's the renewal, and it's walking your own path to your own soul's truth. This is huge. This is how you're doing it. You're navigating. There's something that's coming through that's huge, huge, huge for you, and it is like almost a preparatory and an initiatory time for you as far as learning and moving forward. This is huge for you. It's very, very different for you. There is a layer, a level of authenticity that's coming through you in the way you express yourself that's deeper than it has been before. Not because it hasn't been there before, but because your wisdom and the way you think and the way you see the universe is now a little different than it was before. So now you can offer it forward differently, and it's a good thing. Don't hold yourself back. When you want to express, allow it to come through. That's complete. Holy cow, that was gorgeous. My gosh. And this is the strongest cards that are coming through for you right here. And then these. Okay. Wow, that was a stunner. Holy cow. Holy cow, yeah. It's like things are opening up for you huge. And when you're walking that tightrope, when you walk the tightrope and you're leaving the past behind you and you're walking towards something, keep yourself centered. It helps you move forward. It allows everything to open up and unfold. Just really, really beautiful, beautiful reading. All right. That's what I got for you on that one. That was an interesting one. The fact that the rose would come through and the Bette song would come through, and it's like you've already been through the winter. You've already been through the winter. That's gorgeous. If the list is clear, I might do something for the collective and then call it a day. I think that's probably what we need to do. Hey, Krista. Hey, I see you. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, it was an amazing reading. I love, love, love it. Oh, thanks, Dawn. Thanks. All right, we're going to go to When Women Had Wings. We're going to go to that one for right now. And we will see what we got. for the collective. There is a centering and a recentering that's going on. And that's come through a lot today. There's a being present and the purpose in being present. That's really important for us. When we're anchoring light and anchoring places and spaces, it's huge to do that. Huge. This time, this particular collective is very simple. We've got the Hermit card. We're in Virgo season. Definitely here. Anchoring the light is what I'm talking about. The Virgo Queen. This is the very, very Earth Queen. The Queen of Coins. Self-care, self-love, all that stuff. Knowing how to turn the tumbleweed into the Christmas tree. Knowing the resources that you've got and anchoring in with those resources is huge. And then take what you need to take for yourself. Don't let others have the priority over your life, but you have the priority. So take what you need to take, but travel a little bit light. This is considered Sneaky Pete the Thief, but it's also the CYA card. This is knowing what your resources are. You don't need to take too much. This is huge for us. Anchor in the light and be present in the moment now is huge for today's message. Huge. And do what it is that you can with the resources you have. We all have this day to be present in, to make of what we will. This is what we're getting. You don't have to do it all. You don't have to have all the swords to carry. You just need the truths that actually resonate truly with you. This is what's coming forward. Know your priority. Know what is important for your soul growth and carry that. That's what I've got. That feels complete. Holy cow, guys. That's gorgeous. It is a gorgeous, gorgeous deck. It's When Women Had Wings deck, and it's absolutely a stunner. But we do have the knowledge and the wisdom, and the crone is very, very present. Whether it's Yana or the divine crone, the energy is there. Really, really big. All right, guys, I'm going to let you go for now. And I will be back probably Wednesday at 11 is what I'm thinking. So I will see you then. I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful day. Thanks for letting me do this with you. I love, love, love doing this. Love it. All right. Talk with you guys later. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.